Hey y'all, it's Shell. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a licensed cosmetologist and I like to teach women how to grow and maintain healthy hair. So today's video is going to be on 10 mistakes that you're making when you're either deciding to become a straight natural, or if you're already in the process of becoming a straight natural and you want to make sure that you are maintaining healthy hair while you are doing that routine. So the first thing that I notice when people are starting to become a straight natural or wanting to become a straight natural is they start off with damaged hair and they don't know how to take care of it. So they feel like becoming a straight natural, it will be easier for them, which is it is an easier routine for some of us moms that are busy, or if you're not a mom and you have a busy lifestyle. It is an easier routine for us to maintain. So I understand why people come in and they're like, well, I don't know what to do with my hair. I just want to straighten it and be done with it. But the thing about that is that when you already don't have a good routine and your hair is already damaged, you're going to make it worse by using heat. Heat can cause damage when you're using it in excessive amounts. So if you already don't have a good routine and you already don't know what to do with your hair, heat is not going to make it better. It's actually going to make it worse. If you do have like damaged hair, you haven't been taking care of it, what I recommend is you can still use heat. You just don't want to necessarily become a straight natural just yet. You want to get down a good routine, and you also want to go to the salon and visit your stylist and get maintenance visits so that you are getting your hair treated and trimmed on a regular, consistent basis. And then once your hair comes up to health, then you can decide, okay, well now I want to either heat train or become a straight natural. Number 2 is not taking breaks. So this is something that I stress a lot, is because I am a quote unquote straight natural for now. This is my routine for now because it works well with my lifestyle. And so during that break, while you're taking breaks from heat, then you want to make sure that your curl pattern is getting back to its original state. So a wash and go will be a perfect example, so that you can build up that elasticity back into your hair and that you're also treating it while it's in that curly state as well. Another thing that I notice is that people do not do treatments right away. They wait until it's too late to start doing treatments. This is like the biggest thing that you want to avoid. Do treatments on your hair as soon as you start heat training and before you see damage. Once you see the damage, that is when it's time to completely cut off heat. You have to go in and use an expensive treatment, salon grade treatments, and then it's like this all could have been avoided if you would have just used treatments in the very beginning stages of you using heat. That way you can buy the products that are available to consumers, so you don't necessarily have to always go to the salon and get it treated. So you want to make sure you are doing treatments in the beginning of your straight natural journey, and don't wait until your hair is already loose or straight and then try to fix it. Number 4 is a thing that I see often too, is not using the right tools, the right products, and the right techniques. So you have to know how many suppresses you can do when you are becoming a straight natural. So some people think that becoming a straight natural is you flat ironing your hair, or you know, suppressing your hair like monthly or every 2 weeks and doing it all the time. My opinion is that you know when to take breaks, and you take breaks in between straightening your hair so it does not get damaged. So that falls into the category of having the right technique. Now when it comes to products and tools, obviously I have videos on that, so you definitely want to make sure you're using the right products and the right tools, because if you have fine textured hair that is low density, you don't always want to use titanium irons on high heat. So that's what I mean when knowing what products and tools and techniques to use. Number 5 is not doing maintenance visits and getting like treatments and trims in the salon. A lot of times we try to do everything at home, and that is when I see a lot of the damage comes in, when people try to do everything at home and then they try to replace their stylist and come into salon only like once or twice a year. Now when you are doing curly girl styles, that could be fine, that could be okay. But if you are becoming a straight natural, you want to be consistent with your salon maintenance. You do not want to try to do everything at home, because then it's going to be expensive to repair it. Treatments are not cheap, especially salon, even salon quality treatments, they are expensive for us, so that means it's going to be expensive for you. So you do not want to put it into the hands of your stylist to repair the damage that you did at home. So make sure you are keeping up with your maintenance as soon as you decide to be a straight natural. I offer a silk press course, so if you want to know the techniques that I use when I'm doing a silk press to keep the hair healthy, you definitely can purchase the course. It'll be located down below in the description box. But again, you do not want to replace your stylist. This is just to help you do some at home and then go into salon and let them treat your hair and trim it and keep it up to health as well. So number 6 is trying to become a straight natural when your hair is fine and fragile. I typically tell clients that you might want to consider a different routine. Yes, you can still get silk presses throughout the year, but becoming a straight natural when your hair is fine and fragile is a little bit more risky because typically your hair is not strong enough to handle that much heat over time. Now, ultimately, the choice is up to you, but I like to suggest that clients don't do it. So like I said in my previous video, you can always take my advice with a grain of salt. You do not have to follow it, but these are just my suggestions to help keep your hair healthy. Okay, so I had to readjust, the sun was coming in. So number 8 is doing DIYs, rice water, overly wetting your hair, just doing a whole bunch of stuff to your hair, because it's not, you don't want to do all of those things and try to use heat, because people will argue with me when I say this, but trust me, y'all, I know what I'm talking about. So when people overly wet their hair and they're air drying and stuff like that, when you use heat on top of doing that for years, that is when you see you instantly get heat damage, because your strands were already weak before you started using heat. Now, people will tell you, oh, I use water all the time and I use heat and nothing ever happens to my hair. Unless you have done hundreds of people's head, and unless you have the exact same routine as every other girl that sits in my chair, then it doesn't apply to you. Like when people come to me complaining that they damaged their hair at home because of using heat on their hair one time and they can't figure it out, I'm like, it's because you've been air drying, you've been using too much water on your hair. Using water on your hair daily and then trying to become a straight natural, you may run into some problems. 9 times out of 10 you will run into some problems, especially if you're doing a silk press instead of just using a flat iron on low heat. So those things don't mesh well with using heat. So number 9 is trying to become a straight natural when you have a lack of routine and then you're trying to do it on unresolved underlying health issues. So you don't want to become a straight natural when, let's say for instance, you got a vitamin D deficiency. Now, unless you go get blood work done, you typically wouldn't know that. So if your hair is starting to thin, or if you have any unresolved hair issues, you don't want to become a straight natural, because like I said, when using heat, it can make it worse over time. So you don't want to have like low iron and your hair is already thinning, and then you go become a straight natural and use too much heat, and then your hair is going to start to thin more and you're going to be frustrated all over again. So I would say get that taken care of. If you have any hair issues first, take care of it and then go into the process of becoming a straight natural. Okay, so number 10 is one that I see a lot often as well, and that is using high heat on 450, and then you're using a titanium iron. A titanium iron is okay to use as long as you're not using it too much. So if you got a special event you want to go to, or you know you're going somewhere you want your silk press to last a lot longer, I would say go for a titanium iron, but you don't want to use it every time you silk press your hair, because it will break down the internal structure of your hair and then it will start to thin, weaken, and break over a period of time. Now, if you feel like you have to use 450 every time to get your hair straight, it's probably because your hair is lacking moisture. I do give you guys product recommendations. I'll leave the products that I use on my clients linked on this video. So it's probably because your hair is lacking moisture. So you're going to need a good deep conditioner to replace the moisture into your hair. Now, I'm going to go more in depth about that as well in another video, because the conditioners that we're using and the products that we use when we're becoming a straight natural has a lot of silicones in them. And silicones are not always bad. It's just that if all your products have silicones in them, your hair will not be able to get in the moisture that it needs over time. So you have to be using the right type of products in your hair. If you are deciding to become a straight natural, I offer a silk press course, I offer products, and I offer consultations. So if you want my help and need my assistance, make sure you look at the description box because everything will be listed in there. Follow me on Instagram and then check out my previous video. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Leave me a question down in the comment section if you have any. And also give me some mistakes that you feel like people make or that you're making when you become a straight natural.